my story time. So today, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me for another story. Now, today I wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit about stories in general, because I'm sure you've realised by now that I love listening to stories and I also love telling stories. Do you like telling stories too? Do you like making stories up? Fantastic. Well, I've had some children that have got in touch with me through their grown-ups, and they have asked for certain stories for me to tell. And I thought that's a really, really amazing idea. I'd love to tell some stories that you like listening to at home. So today, a little boy called Albert got in touch with me. Hello, Albert. Thank you very much. And a little brother and sister called Eloise and Jacob. They got in touch with me. Hello, Eloise and Jacob. And they suggested today's story. And I'm going to show you it. It's this one here. It's called Little Red Riding Hood. Can you see that? Now, Little Red Riding Hood is a very special story because it's what we call a traditional tale, which means it's been around for a long, long time. When I was a little girl, a long time ago, I used to listen to this story with my mummy and daddy. And I'm sure when my mummy and daddy were little, they heard this story too, because it's been around for a long time. Why don't you ask your grown-up? Maybe they've heard it. Maybe even your grannies and grandpas or nannies and granddads have heard this story too. It's such a good one. So, what's your favourite traditional tale? They all sound amazing. I'm going to start reading this story now. Little Red Riding Hood. Don't worry, I will show you the pictures each time I finish the page. So, here we go. Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. She wore a red hood and a cloak. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Granny is ill. Take her this basket of food." There, for the first time we can see Little Red Riding Hood. And look, there's her mummy. And there's the basket of food she's going to take to Granny. Are any of you helping others at the moment? I am too. Let's see what happens next. Little Red Riding Hood's granny lived on the other side of the wood. Little Red Riding Hood walked through the woods towards her granny's house. She did not see a hungry wolf watching her. There's Little Red Riding Hood walking through the forest. Can you see the hungry wolf watching her? Where's the hungry wolf watching her? Is it here? No, that's a squirrel. Is it here? No. How about here? It's a hungry wolf watching Little Red Riding Hood. The hungry wolf jumped out in front of Little Red Riding Hood. "Where are you going?" he asked. I'm taking this basket of food to Granny, who is ill," said Little Red Riding Hood. And there you can see the wolf talking to Little Red Riding Hood. And look at all the goodies she has in her basket. Oh, I do hope she gets to Grandma. Let's see. "Where does your granny live?" asked the wolf. "She lives in a house on the other side of the wood," said Little Red Riding Hood. hungry wolf smiled. Can you do a nice smile? Oh, they look brilliant. Why don't you pick flowers for your granny? He said. Oh, what a good idea, said Little Red Riding Hood. And there you can see lots of flowers. That is a really nice idea. I like getting flowers. Do you think Little Red Riding Hood should stay and pick the flowers? What do you think the big bad wolf might be up to? Do you know what might happen next? Little Red Riding Hood put down her basket to pick some flowers. The hungry wolf smiled. Let's do those smiles again. Then he ran off to Granny's house. When he got there, the hungry wolf ate Granny in one great big gulp. But he was still hungry. There you can see, there's Little Red Riding Hood picking some beautiful flowers. Oh, and poor Granny, she's in bed. And here's the hungry wolf. He's a bit cheeky, isn't he? Oh dear. I wonder if Little Red Riding Hood's going to find out what's happened. The hungry wolf put on Granny's cap and glasses. Then he got into Granny's bed and waited for Little Red Riding Hood. He did not have to wait long. Little Red Riding Hood walked in. "Hello, Granny," said Little Red Riding Hood. Then she stopped and looked. I wonder what she's looking at. There is the wolf in bed wearing Granny's cap and Granny's glasses. He looks a bit silly, doesn't he? I wonder what Little Red Riding Hood is looking at. Do you think it's the big bad wolf in that funny hat and those funny glasses? Granny! What big eyes you have, said Little Red Riding Hood. All the better to see you with, said the hungry wolf. And there is Little Red Riding Hood talking to the wolf. I think Little Red Riding Hood is going to keep on looking. Granny! What big ears you have, said Little Red Riding Hood. All the better to hear you with, said the hungry wolf. Granny! What big teeth you have, said Little Red Riding Hood. All the better to eat you with, said the hungry wolf. Little Red Riding Hood screamed, "Ah!" Suddenly, the hungry wolf jumped out of bed and, well, look, there's Little Red Riding Hood screaming. There's the big bad wolf about to jump out, and do you know what happens next? Have you heard this story before? Oh, what is the big bad wolf going to do? He ate Little Red Riding Hood in one great big gulp. Now, the wolf was not hungry anymore. He was very full. He lay on Granny's bed and fell fast asleep. Sorry, I forgot myself there. In the wood, a woodcutter heard Little Red Riding Hood scream. He ran into the house. He saw the wolf asleep on Granny's bed. And there you can see in the picture, there is one big wolf with a very full tummy. Look, he's got a tummy full of Grandma and a tummy full of Little Red Riding Hood. And here, coming through the door with a very, very, very sharp axe is the woodcutter. I wonder what he's going to do. He saw the wolf asleep on Granny's bed and he killed it with his axe. Thwack! Let us out! Cried Little Red Riding Hood and Granny from inside the wolf's tummy. The woodcutter cut open the wolf's tummy. Out jumped Little Red Riding Hood and Granny. Oh, Granny was so pleased to be saved that she invited the woodcutter to tea. And there you can see Granny and Little Red Riding Hood and the woodcutter all having some tea. Wasn't that a lovely story? Now, you might have heard a different version of this story. You might have heard a version where the woodcutter doesn't kill the wolf, where the wolf falls asleep by the stream. But whatever kind of Red Riding Hood story you like, they're all fabulous to me. So there's another story for you today. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing stories with me. I'll be back tomorrow with a different story. Until then, take care and be kind.